All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. The poll is just up. San Francisco Dogfish here at Renton Memorial Stadium as the home team Rainmakers reel in the pole. Disc centers to Zemmel, swings it across. Nice movement across the field and back into the middle to McKibben, looking downfield. It's a little junky here from the Dogfish. Ooh, bobbled dump pass, surveying the field. Dogfish junk here, a little breezy, not too bad. Tridiak with the disc, looking downfield. There's the double team. Getting into some trouble. Finds Zemmel, slicing into the middle. Rainmakers here. Moving it comfortably, though not gaining much yardage. There's an opening. Clark reels it in. Takes his time. Shoe surveys, Zemmel open. Easy swing out to Rosado. Looking downfield, not a lot of movement now from the Rainmakers. There's one. McKibben, that looked like it bounced. There it is. Turnover here, midway down the field. Dogfish set to pick it up. Yeager. Vertical stack. Split cuts off the back, takes off deep. There it is, going up. Nice D there by Clark. Good position. Kind of a wobbly flick looking deep there. Not a lot of chance, good play, but thwarted by the Rainmakers D. Rainmakers back on O, the junk returns, there's the double team. No foul called as Rupp tries to reach through. Zemmel, Tridiak, Rupp, back to Tridiak. Wide open there, he sees it. Crossfield, nice hammer, easy one to Chu. Clark takes off, Chu puts it out in front, anybody's ball here. Stumbling is the defender, but gets back up and makes a play. Looks like there's a call on the field. He's fighting for position there. The Dogfish defender got back after tripping over Clark's heels, made a play on the disc, but also got a piece of Clark there, and Rainmakers will take it on the goal line. Looking to put in the first goal of the game here. Easy lefty flick to Jimmy Chu. Rainmakers on the board. Toss with a big pull. Crowd getting into it here. And the Dogfish going back through their handlers. A lot of handler touches so far. Not a lot of action downfield for either team thus far. Looks like Fan might have gotten a piece of that. Pumping his fist like it's a hand block. Sewell slides in to pick up the disc and punch in the goal. Nice break for the Rainmakers and a little flare from Matt Sewell.
Here we go.
And if the wind is a factor, they're pulling a little bit downwind right now. A little bit gusty, not strictly upwind, downwind, it looks like. Dogfish take the disc, a little bit of a side stack, vertical stack. Again, pressure. Something junky here from the Rainmakers, sort of a clam-type defense. Feely, Sewell, and Fan scrambling around the disc. Not a lot of options downfield. Dogfish pressured here. Find a dump to the sideline. Not the ideal pass, little floaty flick to a wide open man who bobbles it for the Dogfish, and a turnover. Rainmakers have a chance for their second break and a 3-0 lead. Koss with the disc. Little fake, back to Fan. Fan back to Koss. Nice movement, not a great cut off the back, but then he turns the corner, and Koss drops it in with a hammer for the break. Roller flick pull. Looks like Duffel sends it out the side. Not a bad pull for how sharp the roll started there. And they're going to bring the immediate double team on the sideline, but leaving Pollard wide open on the sideline. And the double team is off now, man-to-man defense. Very hard throw into the middle. Feely gets a piece. Dogfish retain possession. Little give go, another bobble now. And that one's going to turn over. Feely centers there to Kalmakis. Swings to Koss. Nice movement here from the Rainmakers. Swinging it out to the side, nothing downfield, so centers it back to Koss. Koss puts a lot of float on that. Oh, and a nice bid from Chris Bubernack. Some pressure defense there from Ian Meyer. Nobody comes up with it, and it'll be Dogfish disc. Again, those hucks so far, really floaty, and so far a bit risky. Some nice junky pressure defense from both teams. Rainmakers are in man, but a lot of guys looking to help in the middle and push the disc to the sideline. Couple of handler cutters there, but at least they're communicating. Kissman. Weaver. Weaver's throw gets bobbled and then picked up by Kim. Kim sends a bladey one downfield. Bobbled again. Weiss couldn't hang on to it. Disc must be wet, or guys need to warm up their hands. A lot of bobbled discs here out in the field. Rainmakers with the disc again on the sideline. Pressure from the Dogfish. Big flick, not going to hang long enough, and a turnover from the Rainmakers. And the Dogfish will have another chance at this. Meyer picks up the disc. Guarded by Duffel. Nice swing out, open field. A lot of open space here for the Dogfish. Let's see if they can capitalize, and then it's pinched again. Good pressure on the handlers. Lee finds Meyer. Sends one, and that's a nice huck. First real nice one we've seen here. Little fake from Kissman. Finds a little slice inside to Weiss. Hangs on to that one. And the Dogfish get their first taste of a goal. Dogfish set to pull, 4:21 remaining in the first period. Pull goes up from Bellinger. Best pull so far. Zemmel brings it down. Rupp. Nice break. Backhand to Rosado. Tommy Rosado surveying the field. Good pressure from the Dogfish on the handlers. Zemmel gets open. Defender stumbles, puts it up to Clark. They love throwing it deep to Clark. That is a tricky angle, though. And Bryden gets all of that one. Clark didn't really have a chance with the taller Bryden. And a downfield throw from Zemmel that didn't give Donnie Clark much of a chance. Bringing in the swing. Ronahan. Back to Tyler Boyd Meredith. Swings it over to Bellinger. Bellinger launches a flick. This guy's liking the hucks again. Defender's able to get there. Pressure, but bringing up the rear there is Adamson, who brings it in. Dogfish within striking distance. The dump goes to Hurst, and a whistle on the field. Timeout.
Timeout, San Francisco.
And we'll see what the Dogfish have planned here. Active dump, maybe just keeping his defender honest. Some poaches from the side into the middle here, and then off the back. Inviting the huge blade, but making it challenging for an easy throw upfield from the Dogfish. Lefty backhand fake. Nice defensive pressure there from Lynn. Little give-go, losing about 15 yards, 10 yards here. More give-go. There go another 3 yards. Then Dogfish are almost at midfield. Inside-out flick. Nice find. Sewell pinching off his man, but not able to get there. Good defensive pressure here from the Rainmakers, but the Dogfish very active. There's a swing and a bid. Unable to bring it in. Rainmakers counterattack. Fan launches one. Rory Gallagher brings it in just shy of the end zone. Skip Sewell wide open, inside out flick, and the Rainmakers go up 4-1 on a nice transition offense. Crowd excited to see their Rainmakers with an early lead. Of course, Ultimate's a game of runs, fits and starts. Rainmakers on top so far, but anybody's game. Reed Koss with a nice pull into the rain. The rain's picking up here. Let's see if that works for the Rainmakers. Little Poachy. Defense. Again, forcing it to the side. Casquino brings it in. Toes the line. Nice defensive pressure, no call. There is a call from the ref behind the play. The ref right in front of the play did not blow his whistle. Dogfish will retain possession. Looks like Yeager, inside out flick, finds Casquino. Quick one, swinging, Dogfish, good movement. Tyler Boyd Meredith surveying the field. Fan Nice adjustment coming off his man to provide the double team, but boy, Meredith finds him. Gets the disc back from Yeager. Nice one upfield to Bryden. Bryden leaves his man short a little bit, and Koss comes and seals the deal on that. Not a good throw. And nice insurance D from Reed Koss laying out to make sure of that one. Bubernak hangs on to it. The disc is wet here. Gnarly flick comes off. It finds its intended receiver, Reed. Koss with a nice upfield flick. Finds Bubernak. Great shot from Koss. And a nice goal from the Rainmakers as the rain picks up here. Here just next to the Renton-Boeing Airport. Dogfish center the disc, side stack, vertical stack. Great poaching from the Rainmakers, shut down their play immediately. Again, cycling back through the handlers. Pollard to the sideline there. Nice find on the swing. Feely almost wanted to leave his feet there, but Casquino brings it in. Some scattered cutters downfield. Great pressure D there by Gallagher, causing the bobble drop from Weiss, and Rainmakers not able to fast break this time, but a nice inside out to Clark from Gallagher, who got that D. Back to Feely. Nice run, and there's Troyer. There's another goal for the Rainmakers. Schneider gets a hand, winds up. Pretty good pull across field. Dogfish center to Hurst. Hurst surveying the field. Again, a poachy D from the Rainmakers have done an excellent job of shutting down the Dogfish's first look, which has led to a lot of movement through the handlers. Clock here just starting with technical error, so the Dogfish will get a few extra seconds here to punch one in. That's a nice flick out of the reach of Duffel, and the Dogfish bring it in for another goal. 6-2. 6-2 as the Dogfish prepare to pull. 34 seconds remaining. See what can be done in the remainder of the first period. Backhand roller stays in bounds just past midfield. Chris Rupp looking at some squirrely Dogfish D now. Finds Zemmel. A little 5-yard side pass. Zemmel triple teamed nearly. Back to Rupp. Downfield cutters not working terribly well together thus far, but Donnie Clark finds an opening. There's Tridiak coming out of their sort of lumpy formation. They do find some openings. Rosado, it looks like, down on the ground. The intended receiver, but then Rupp makes a heroic play across field for Tridiak's backhand and a diving catch with 7.5 seconds to send the Rainmakers up 7-2. Looks like Ulrich Fox with the pull here. Nice blade going out. Wow, I'm not sure that actually went out. And it's not going out now. That's a great pull for having only a few seconds left. It looks like it did go out on the sideline. The ref has the mark. Nearly a perfect pull considering the circumstances. Still not bad at all with the Dogfish getting double teamed 3 yards out. And now Sewell comes into pressure. Blady flick up the sideline. That's a tough shot, and it comes up short. And the first period of play has finished here with the Rainmakers dominating thus far. Some junky D clogging up the middle and clogging up the Dogfish's play calls, forcing extra passes, and in this rain, a lot of bobbled passes. And the Rainmakers with some excellent transition offense, taking them into the lead coming out of the first period. And we're getting going here with the second period of play. Rainmakers leading 7-2 after one quarter here. Koss with a big backhand pull. Dogfish needing to put more points on the board here in the second period. Ranahan surveys the field, sends it back to Meyer. Good pressure on the mark. Again, Dogfish having to go right through the handlers. And again, the opportunity to catch a pass missed by one of the Dogfish there. Weiss lets it go, looked like through his legs. Probably thinking about the next throw. How to make that catch, especially with a wet disc. Feely tries to punch it through the double team. The long arms. Weaver knock it down, and the Dogfish back on offense. Swinging it over, there's Renahan. A lot of cutters on the weak side, all kind of going to the same place, not giving any break options there. Disc swings back to Renahan. Again, Dogfish losing some yards. Easy shot into the middle. To Meyer. Meyer lost one up. Sewell trying to catch up. Bodying out is Kim. And focused a little bit too much on the box out. Good pressure from Sewell. Kim not able to get there. And Rainmakers D with an opportunity to break. A lot of yards to go here, setting up in a vertical stack. Nice cut off the back by Lynn. Disc goes through the handlers and then finds Lynn. Up to Koss. Koss loving to send it, but resists the urge there. Nice pressure from Kim on the D. Feely. Easy flick to Gallagher. Gallagher sends one. Bryson Rubick Fox. 5 yards on his man. Eric Rivera not able to chase him down. Reed Koss set to pull. Primary puller for the Rainmakers. Backhand goes up and will get all the way to the goal line there. Well, nearly on the roll. And another bobble on the very first pass gives the Rainmakers 9-10 yards out from their goal line. Dogfish offense struggling just to reel in the most basic of passes. Henry Fan with a nice break backhand to Duffel just shy of the end zone line. Little fake back inside and a roundabout backhand to Ben Beener for the Rainmakers goal and another break. Reed Koss, another big backhand pull. Let's see what the Dogfish can do this time around. Disc goes to Meyer. Meyer, upfield to Renahan. Nice spacing here from the Dogfish. Let's see if they can capitalize. And a little crunched now. Not sure what offense they're running. And not sure who that was to. Reed Koss out in front. Not too many guys going to catch up with Reed Koss in the open field. Dogfish with some messy offense. Whole slew of cutters coming into the same space. No one going to the space where that throw went to, really. I'm not sure if Reed Koss's man was even the intended receiver there. Disc move over to Koss. Rainmakers with a little bit of messy O2. Elliott Trotter's man not close to him, however. And there's a call on the field. Timeout. Keep those Rainmaker offensive team guys warm. And subbing out their D team, which has been doing a great job on transition offense. Not a lot of contact out there. Not a lot of calls from the refs. Pretty clean play. A lot of these turnovers, unforced errors today. Primarily from the Dogfish, though both teams, a couple of bobbles. Wet disc, always harder to catch. Double team from the Dogfish here. McKibben, Triniak to McKibben. Those guys love playing little give-goes. Nice shot from McKibben up the line, but it does not come back in. Donnie Clark with no chance to get out there and get it. Sorry, that was Thomas Rosado on the sideline, cutting for that one. Rosado with no chance to go out and get that one. Could have made a play to try and get some contact on it, but did not, so the disc will go back to where it went out of bounds. Dogfish in a vertical stack, finding the open, streaking Jaeger. Shot up the middle. Stearns back over to Jaeger. Big hammer over the top. Nice opening for the Dogfish. McKibben not able to get there. With the Rainmakers O-line ready to receive. And we'll see what kind of defense the Dogfish bring. Both teams employing some junky D up front, pushing the disc through the handlers. Bellinger sends a pull out of bounds that I'm not sure is coming back. Big floaty back end. Oh, there's the edge, and it does come back. Nice pull. Centers to Triniak. Rainmakers. Nice cut from Zemmel. A little zigzag, but well guarded. Little give go back to Triniak. Chris Rupp taking off, getting a look. Jimmy Chu takes off. Two guys going deep. Unfortunate, because either one of them could have gotten there. Jimmy Chu was wide open, but Clark always looking to go deep. Big backhand from McKibben, and Zemmel saves him with a nice layout grab and a slide along the wet turf. Disc out to Rupp. Good movement from the handlers. Lofty flick. Tridiak not able to get there. Good pressure from the Dogfish D. Turnover Rainmakers, and the Dogfish will try and march it up 60 yards or so for another score. 5:30 remaining in the second period. Disc goes up to McCarty, surveying the field. Nice bid there. Clark maybe with a piece of that one, shutting it down.
Clark on the big D.
Clark gets it again, puts up a lofty backhand to Tridiak, who can jump it in, and another goal for the Rainmakers. Matt Skip Sewell set to pull. There's a Blady backhand coming over to the sideline and comes out just past the 50. Dogfish, pretty good opportunity here, starting midfield, though they'll have to battle the double team immediately. Meyer, pressured, tries to throw it through the knee of one of the defenders, hoping for a call, no call. And the Rainmakers with the disc again. Feely from the sideline. Sayers. Back to Feely from Kalmakis, and there's a stoppage here. Might have been receiver travel. I'm not sure what happened there. Another whistle to resume play. Kalmakis with it. Back to Feely. A lot of good movement from both teams here through the handlers, having to utilize their handlers a lot. Both teams shutting down a lot of the cutters downfield. Feely working hard. Nice inside-out backhand. Amazing two-handed catch on the dive there from Gallagher, who immediately gets up, throws something upside down to School, who brings it in. Another goal for the Rainmakers. A little bit of wind early on has died down. Currently the rain has died down. A little drizzle. Backhand Blady pull goes out. Dogfish. Nice D from Feely coming off of the weak side. Great diving bid. Feely gets it back from Fan, gets hacked on the mark. No call. There's the call, because he got clobbered there. Amazing D from Feely. Let's see if he can punch it in now as the Rainmakers get a little time to set in their vertical stack in the offense. Feely puts it out in front of a couple of Rainmakers. Hopefully they talked about it there. And Koss bringing it in for the goal. Dogfish O-line talking it out. Here's Koss set to pull again. And the Rainmakers D back at it. Not terribly long pulls here today, but enough pressure on the defensive end. There's not a lot of scores from the Dogfish show. Meyer surveying the field. A lot of touches today. Reaches around. Nice backhand, though. It floats. Duffel couldn't get there. Corey Lee brings it in. Almost a turn. Corey Lee with a high lefty backhand. Rosado resisting the urge to clobber Ranahan. Ranahan brings it in. There was contact anyways. Had Rosado bid for that, could have been a stoppage for an injury. So good hold back there from Rosado. And now the Dogfish just shy of the goal here. Pollard punches it into Corey Lee, who punches it into the ground. A lot of breaks from the Rainmakers. Dogfish going to need a lot more if they're going to have a chance to claw their way back into this game. Dogfish get a hand. And there's the pull from Bellinger. High backhand. Rupp, McKibben. Easy one to Zemmel. Handler heavy O-line for the Rainmakers. Some contact on the handlers. Little contact as handler cutters were crossing paths, and the defenders and the O all kind of running into each other there. And the disc will come back. A nice open cross field throw for the Rainmakers. brought back, and it looks like the contact is attributed to the Rainmakers as Zimmel goes back a few yards to try again. Pressured there, no contact called. Good aggressive D from the Dogfish. And I think that's a good call, not only from the ref, but from the Dogfish to step up their aggressiveness. They need to get opportunities here on D. I think it's worth a couple of foul calls to get their fire going again here. Rosado, easy backhand to Chu. Chu looks downfield, resists throwing a huge one to Clark. Clark starting his deep cuts a little bit deep, particularly how fast he is. Zimmel finds Tridiak. Tridiak launches one up there. Looks like intended receivers McKibben. Rosado flies across. McKibben, two defenders on him, can't bring it in. A little ambitious there maybe from Tridiak, though there were two open guys. But it hung up there long enough for defenders to come in and make the play. Nice D from the Dogfish to earn that turnover. Dogfish setting up in a 3-2 offense. A weird offense. I haven't seen that one before, but it works. As Stearns from the shallower of the two downfield horizontal stacks coming up through the middle. Now swings it over to Bryden. And another drop from the Dogfish. Dan Bellinger not able to hang on to that one. The story of the game so far, unforced errors, drops from the Dogfish, and the Rainmakers plenty of opportunities for their D-line to score. Zemmel's flick hangs a little high. Danny Tridiak gets good position, launches one a little too low, looking for McKibben. And it looks like Bellinger got it back there. Launch goes up. Adamson brings it in and calls timeout on the field. 9 yards shy of the Dogfish end zone. Very good position here from the Dogfish. We'll see if they can capitalize. Putting a lot of pressure on their primary cutter there. But then Ranahan comes up from the back, from the dump position. Still holding formation, and they find their primary cutter in Kissman for the goal. Quite possibly the last point in the half here. 12-5 Rainmakers, 21.5 seconds left. There's the pull. Stay in bounds. Zimmel finds McKibben. Tommy Rosado out in front. Spread offense now. Just 10 seconds remaining as Rupp receives the disc, finds McKibben. No real deep cutters here. Not sure they've got much of a chance to score this one. Rupp over to Zimmel. Zemmel's got to launch something. Well, it's not going to get there in time. Rosado gets it on the sideline, and that will not count. As we come to a close in the first half, the Rainmakers dominating at home, 12-5 against the San Francisco Dogfish. Come on back and see all the action in the second half of play. Welcome back as we get just about set to start here. The Rainmakers leading the Dogfish 12-5. My name is Dave Bestock. I'm joined now by Jude Loren. Jude, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. How you been, Dave?
Doing well. Yourself?
Great. I got here just in time to watch some exciting first half action.
So far, Rainmakers dominating. We'll see if the Dogfish can pull things together a little bit more in the second half here. Crowd getting excited here under the leadership of outstanding announcer Ted Werbel here, sending free discs into the crowd. Healthy crowd here for a gray day in Renton, and just getting set to start here as the Dogfish ready to pull.
Looks like the weather's let up a little bit for the second half.
Less rain, but a little bit of a breeze. And the pull is underway there. You can see the breeze sending the disc up and down. McKibben brings it in. Side stack here from the Rainmakers. And the rare guy bringing the pull down, also initiating the offense, sends a flick out a little too far for Zimmel to have a chance at, and the Dogfish will have an opportunity to strike first here. Not a lot of breaks yet from the Dogfish. Could be a momentum shift. They have a horizontal stack with a guy out loose. That guy is Bryden, gets the disc. Bryden look up the line, Nice little lefty backhand up to Jaeger. Jaeger, inside out flick. Dogfish with a quick break.
See what they come down in. I noticed in the first half they were coming down in a lot of different junk zones there, trying to upset the offense of the Rainmakers. Let's see what happens.
There's the pull, big backhand, coming up short of the end zone here as the Rainmakers move downfield, looks like into a horizontal stack. Centers to Zimmel. Zimmel, quick one up to Tridiak, out to McKibben. Launches it inside out, back into the middle of the field, and Clark, showing his speed and athleticism, comes up with the disc. 9:13 remaining in the third period. 13-6 Rainmakers. Reed Koss set to pull. Rainmakers doing an excellent job in the first half of shutting down the play and disrupting that first pass, the Dogfish. Nice pull from Koss. Just centers. There's some pressure from the handlers. However, an easy find into the middle to Meyer. Also getting a ton of touches today is Meyer. Outside to Kissman. Easy flip in. Pollard, give go, back to Pollard. Anchoring as the dump. Meyer, backhand break to Kim. Kim unguarded. Kissman again. A lot of poaching here from the Rainmakers. Some easy shots for the Dogfish, though not gaining a ton of yards. There's a yardage gainer up the sideline to Kim. Good movement here from the Dogfish offense. No dumps available now. However, Pollard finds a break, and there's a hammer up the sideline, and a nice easy hammer for a score from the Dogfish. And they're getting set to pull now. Is Dan Bellinger. And the Dogfish started to show a little bit of fire on their D-line coming into the end of the first half. See if they can keep some of that energy going, which they are certainly going to need if they have any sort of chance at coming back in this game. Talking over their D. Here comes Bellinger with the pull. Backhand pull. Not a lot of wind out here, and the rain has died down, so the weather possibly not as much of a factor. Zimmel smartly looks off a swing as Stearns was looking to pressure that one. Zimmel, McKibben. McKibben, Chew with an amazing flying grab. Up to Clark, to McKibben. Stuck on the sideline. Takes the dump. Some contact on the mark there, not called. Zimmel. McKibben, squirrely cut. Wow. Chance for the defender there. McKibben still with the disc. Rainmakers looking for shots in there. To Rupp, to Zimmel. Losing a bunch of yards, but maintaining possession as the downfielders adjust their positioning. And Zimmel faked himself out there and turns it over around midfield. Jimmy Chew on the mark. An amazing grab on the offensive line there. Not enough from the O-line to punch it in. Dogfish running downfield. Stearns, McCarty. Swing goes over to Adamson. Adamson wanted a backhand there, but a lot of traffic on the backhand line. Inside out flick from a handler coming up the line. That's a tough shot. And a couple of quick flips from the Dogfish. Closing with Casquino as the Dogfish climb to 8. 7:15 remaining in the third period of play. And a little bit of a tighter contest now as the Rainmakers lead 13-8. A lot of game left to play here. Jaeger with a big backhand pull. One of the nicer pulls we've seen. Coming left to right here. Zimmel, Tridiak. The junky D downfield prevents the deep cutters. Kind of a wall up front on the handlers. A nice defensive look here from the Dogfish. There's an opening in the handlers. McKibben with a flip to Zimmel that hangs for a while there. Probably not what he intended, looking for that give-go, but disc was hanging quite a long time. Clark. And Bryson Newrick-Fox not able to hang on. Got a case of the drops, which we saw a lot from the Dogfish. We'll see if the story flips here in the second half. as the Dogfish looking to send it up the line there. Riding, dump, swings. Jaeger finds an opening in the middle to McCarty. McCarty double teamed. Steps out with a nice backhand there. Jaeger launches one. A lot of traffic there. Tridiak well under it. And Ulrich Fox, fired up from his drop earlier, comes and throws it down. Nice D. Bryson Ulrich Fox and the Rainmakers. Not the best huck look from the Dogfish. Nice D. An inside-out flick there. Looking for Zemmel. Ranahan comes in and disrupts it. Great position for the Dogfish here. Last couple times they were here on a dead disc, they called timeout. This time, finding their end zone offense quickly, and that primary cutter getting open quickly and easily for the Dogfish. 13-9, only a 4-point game now. 5:41 remaining in the third period. It really is now anybody's game again.
We've got Seattle's D-line coming out on O.
Always good to mix it up, particularly after a couple breaks. Pull goes up from the Dogfish. The D-line, a lot more goals this game than the Rainmakers O-line. Eddie Feely, Henry Fan, back to Feely. Nice shot out wide to Lynn. Cutter's open downfield, but Lynn sending it back through the handlers, gets it again. Unguarded now. Lynn should continue to look for the disc. Now the Dogfish defense sort of falls in with a more regular man. There's Lynn open again, though. Lynn up to Rosado. Feely wants it back. There's Feely. Sewell with a nice undercut. Looked off by Feely. Goes for a wide open Lynn. Lynn open all the time here, and Rosado not able to hang on the swing, and the Dogfish get the disc back. Let's see if they can transition their offense. Hurst out to Farron. Little between shot there. An opportunity for Rosado, but didn't quite have the heads up to make that play. Dogfish hang on. Nice shot out wide to Stearns. And Stearns puts it up, but Fan wants a piece. Not able to get there as Casquino reels it in. The O-line back out on the field for the Rainmakers.
Lots of homegrown talent out there. Guys I've been watching play in the Seattle area for a long time. Some of them since they were in middle school.
The Seattle youth ultimate scene alive and well. A whole slew of amazing players coming up through the middle and high school programs here in Seattle. A credit to the coaching staff and the schools who support those programs. And Seattle's just a nice place to live, so a lot of those guys stick around. Of course, some great players in San Francisco as well. And this game is now a game as the pull rolls out of bounds. Chris Rupp centering to Zemmel. Zemmel with a wide open McKibben. Dogfish containing the deep cutters fairly well. Donnie Clark's out there always with an eye towards the end zone. But kind of a diamond in the back to start. Tridiak. Nice yardage gaining cut. Sends one up to Zemmel. Some nice spacing here from the Rainmakers, but the timing of their downfield cuts not matching up perfectly here for continuation passes. Tridiak with a nifty little backhand. And Zemmel finds Clark, who drops it in the end zone a little too easy. And he lost focus for a minute. Lets that one go. A great shot from Zemmel. A wide open Clark. Lets it go through his hands. And again, just like you said, Jude, the unforced errors now plaguing Seattle.
Yeah, they kind of flipped the script here a little bit. We'll see if Seattle comes back and gets another easy one here. I know that they're regretting that.
And the Dogfish now out of a vertical stack. Good pressure from the defense there.
Ooh.
Donnie Clark, not too pleased with his drop, comes out with a nice layout D in front of Bryden, the intended receiver there. Great play from Clark. Couple of nice layout blocks. Very athletic player is Clark. Tridiak just wants Zemmel from the dump, focuses on him. Zemmel finds Clark again, who redeems himself. A nice grab, focusing on the disc, and then looking at his feet as he lands in bounds for a Seattle goal. There's Koss with a pull. Dogfish move into their vertical stack downfield. seen a couple of scripted plays in their vertical stack, a couple of split cutters off the back, and there's one as Weaver gets it off the back, sends it up to Kim. Kim launches one. Feely looking for it up there. Not able to find it in time, though Corey Lee tracking it the whole time as the Dogfish get a quick score. May 4th, officially here. Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Ted Werble as Han Solo. We've got a couple lightsabers in the crowd as well. McKibben from Rupp over to Zemmel. Chu wide open in the middle. Puts one up a little bit high to McKibben, who can't bring it in. Turnover just shy of midfield. Dogfish come back, and an ill-advised hammer goes into the hands of Zemmel. Not what the Dogfish needed to maintain momentum there, as it goes back and forth and back into the hands of the Rainmakers. McKibben to Zemmel. Wide open Rupp, left on the sideline, gets the disc. Clark open. Finds an open Chu. Tridiak takes off, but there's a nice poach from the other side. Jimmy Chu wisely going to the poached man, Tommy Rosado, into the middle. And another bobble off the hands of McKibben. Coming in, that's a tough shot. A little flip with a guy right on your back, real close to the disc there. Dogfish 10 yards out of their own end zone. Again with an opportunity. Nice bid from Zemmel. Adamson hangs on. And a call on the field. Looks like a timeout and roster switch. And the Dogfish with it, just 15 yards out of their end zone, setting up in a vertical stack. A lot of poaches from the Rainmakers. They had a chance to talk about things, and they're splitting the stack. And a double team comes on, so they're going to pretty effectively shut down whatever the play call was. But the Dogfish upfield find Weiss. Big flick fake from Pollard. Finds Ranahan. Ranahan inside out. There's Weiss again. Easy ones, but not a lot of yardage gained. Disc moves over to Kim. Kim back into the middle. Kissman. Weaver looking for his dump. Finds Ranahan coming upfield. And there's some defensive pressure. Nice D by Gallagher. Back into the hands of the Rainmakers. Proving to be an exciting point here as things are getting more important. Fan, 21 with the disc. Quite a product of Seattle. An outstanding player out of Franklin High School. Nice to see him in a bigger forum now, the MLU. Over to Koss, over to Fan. Fan puts a flick out in front. But Bryson Ulrich Fox not able to get there. A little bit strong from Fan. And Ulrich Fox going back and forth on this point, maybe a little winded.
I don't think Coach Gusson is going to be too disappointed with that look. It was the right choice, just execution not quite there. I think they're going to let Henry take that throw every time.
And it looked like a bobble there from Meyer. Meyer with another bobbledy drop, and the Rainmakers get it back. But Feely gets a little punch of air under the disc there, and Bryson Ulrich Fox not able to find that one with a little wind punch there. Couple of unforced errors. Meyer on the Dogfish's first throw there after the turnover, bobbled it into the ground, then grabbed it again, pretending nothing happened, but it was a turnover, and now the refs interceding here to make the call. And it looks like maybe some contact on the Feely's throw as the Rainmakers will retain possession and get to set up their vertical stack offense here.
Crowd sighed a sigh of relief when they saw the disc go back to the Rainmakers' possession after that.
Looks like contact. He'll take half the distance to the end zone. Feely, now it's more of a spread. Kind of a similar end zone offense to what the Dogfish are running. And Fan trying to somersault into the end zone. That would have been a miraculous, but a very athletic play regardless. Finds Sewell, who emphatically throws it down as the Rainmakers go up 15-11 at the very end of the third period. we're back for the fourth and final period of play here. The third quarter showing a bit of a momentum turn as the Dogfish clearly winning that quarter to bring the score back within spitting distance here coming into the fourth period of play. The Rainmakers up 4, 15-11. And anybody's game here in the last period of play today.
Seattle with a pretty emphatic score there right to end the third quarter, though. So we'll see if they can't kind of harness that and turn that into some momentum going their way.
Yeah, nice bit of back and forth in terms of the momentum in the last period of play. Making it exciting. The wind, a little bit more than it was. Some flags flowing in the wind there, but not much of a factor here today. Though not a lot of great hucks today, a lot of really excellent handler movement. And the story of the game today, really unforced errors. We'll see what that looks like and which team's able to maintain possession here in the fourth period of play. Open deep cutter, and the throw goes up. Oh! Amazing D from Rory Gallagher, who's been all over the defensive end today. Aaron Weaver wide open for the Dogfish downfield. Gallagher catches up and dives for an amazing block. Hit the ground pretty hard, and he comes off to fan support. He's had 3 at least diving bids on D, and he looks like he's running okay. Maybe just came down with a Charlie horse on that hamstring or something. Great D as the Rainmakers get possession here in the first point of the fourth period of play.
Yeah, he really closed what looked to be an impossible gap there.
Weaver was way out in front. What looked like a good throw hung up there long enough. Gallagher, great D. Reed Koss out in front of Henry Fan. Donnie Clark, open on the other side. The wide field in the MLU really gives you an opportunity for some huge swing passes. Wow. Eddie Feely giving the defender an opportunity there, but Henry Fan reaches out in front and gets called for the end one with contact. Fan will take 10 yards and resume play. Vertical stack. Feely dodging and weaving on the handler cutting. Disc goes up to Sewell on the sideline. Rainmakers probably hoping to get it off that line, but finding the line again. Feely to Clark. Clark, big jump for the goal. Rainmakers score 16-11. 8:45 remaining in the game. Rainmakers up 5, 16-11. Reed Koss sends the pull up the backhand side. You can see it dancing in the wind there. Those long passes and anything upside down going to be affected by the wind. Duncan Lynn putting great handler pressure on the first pass and forcing a wide swing that sails over the head of Casquino and into the possession of the Rainmakers. Fan centers to Koss. Duffel turns the corner, but well guarded. Reed holsters any huck ideas. Ben Beener. Bobble from Duffel. We've seen a lot of bobbles today. That one hits the turf. And the Dogfish jogging to pick it up with only 8 minutes left to try and overcome this lead, or this deficit rather, that they are facing. Hurst sends it upfield to Stearns. Yeager. Nice movement across the field. Bellinger completing the swing series there. And a nice quick turn from Yeager to find his man open in the end zone with a pretty quick Dogfish score. They're going to need a few of those if they're going to have a chance to come back. And the crowd fired up here as the wind picks up, sending that pull a little farther. That's a nice big pull. Let's see if the Dogfish can capitalize. Pull hits the ground. McKibben and Zemmel. Some junky diamond action. Another bobble there, but McKibben hangs on. Finds Tridiak. Tridiak winds up a huge hammer cross field to Chu. Chu nicely reels it in and then sends a huge flick all the way downfield. And no one can catch up with Isaac Entz, the big man who brings it in and dunks it all. 3 points. Here's Reed Koss with a big pull. Goes over to the sideline here. See if Seattle can shut it down. Dogfish, center to Pollard. Nice shot up the middle, yardage gainer. Kim guarded by Koss. Kim winds up and sends a backhand. It's Blady and goes out of the reach of Kissman. That is not what the Dogfish need right now. 7 minutes remaining in the fourth. 5-point difference. They bring the double team here on Feely. Feely steps through, draws contact, but no call. There's a late call. Oh, that's a timeout.
It's like a Seattle timeout.
Dancing back and forth, putting pressure on the remaining handler defender. A lot of pressure there. Zimmel finds it between three guys, sends a backhand out. Clark changes direction quickly. That throw may have been intended for McKibben, who gets it back from Clark and sends one up to Danny Tridiak, who's got a read on it, but there was a large Dogfish in the end zone there. Looked like Stearns not having it.
I wonder if McKibben didn't see the other Dogfish player back there when he put that up. I think he saw Tridiak's pink shoes going deep and little else with that throw.
Yep. Tridiak almost had a chance there. Stearns, not a small guy, and with good position there, tracking it. As the Dogfish get another opportunity. There's Stearns, Jimmy Choo with a huge bid, but Stearns hangs on. Photographers hoping they got a piece of that one. Very exciting play. There's that matchup again. Stearns sends one up, floating very nicely as Weaver brings it in and the Dogfish score. An exciting play and a nice goal from the Dogfish. Jimmy Choo playing with a bunch of ultimate famous names. He himself having quite a career at the top of the sport. Tridiak now surveying the field. Cocks his hammer and holsters it again. Sends one across to Rupp. Some poachiness from the Dogfish handler defenders, though not disrupting too much there. Rupp finds an open Tridiak. But nice downfield prevention. So far the Rainmakers only going through their handlers. Rupp brings in a high one from Tridiak. Now faces a double team. Finds Zimmel back. They need a swing cut, and that hammer not going to do it. Maybe caught by the wind there, but Zimmel not able to get the swing off. Looks for the hammer and sends it right into the turf. Dogfish with an opportunity here. Just about 5 minutes remaining in the game. Yeager gets it back. A couple of cutters in the middle. Finds Adamson. And the Rainmakers scrambling to catch up here. Let's see if the Dogfish can capitalize. Clark diving past Bellinger, who hangs on. Sends it up. Riding back into the middle. Swings go across. Yeager. Inside out flick. Adamson. Facing the double team. High backhand. Looks like Farron, who was just kind of sitting on the sideline there unguarded, brings it in. 4:33 remaining in the fourth. 17-14 Rainmakers as the Dogfish set to pull. A break here would be quite exciting and put the Dogfish well within range to come back. All the contests between these two teams close. And this one, though the first half wouldn't have indicated it, also close. Reed Koss bobbles one that's high, reels it in. Finds Lynn. Finds Gallagher, who came off hurt, now back on the field. Always nice to see. Reed Koss. A flick caught into the wind, but sails into the end zone to Gallagher. Reed Koss. Big backhand pull. You can see the wind has picked up. It's moving right to left as that pull rides the wind well into the Dogfish end zone. And here's the Rainmaker D. That is an upwind flick hook that actually stayed very well on target despite its height. And the Dogfish have it past midfield now with the Rainmaker D struggling to catch up, but Dogfish not able to capitalize too much. And there's Sewell, who brings it in to start that stall count. He was way off his guy. McCarty into the middle, nice catch. It's like Weaver there. Into the end zone to an open Kissman. And there you see, making it rain here for the Seattle fans as the Dogfish send a pull out of bounds. And the Rainmakers with 3:30 remaining in the game. Up 3. Dogfish a little fired up on D. Moving through the handlers. You see that a lot from the Rainmakers. Very quick handler movement makes it really tough on the D. Keeps them on their toes and opens up some nice shots. Zemmel doing a good job of maintaining composure with some contact there. Moves 10 yards up to survey the field again. To Rupp. Well guarded is McKibben, so it goes back to Zemmel. Again, good movement though by quick handlers. Rupp low onto Rosado. Rosado brings it up. Doesn't have to get on the ground. Back to Rupp. McKibben gets away from his man this time as there's a call downfield. Looks like some contact down in the cutters. You don't see that called a lot, but good eyes from the ref there. And it looks like Tridiak getting the armband on and the turnover. So the Dogfish will have an opportunity here to bring it within 2 with 2:30 remaining. Still a whole lot of pressure on them to really perform here late in this game to come back. Bellinger downfield to Stearns. Stearns on the sideline, big lefty. Back to Bellinger. Bellinger looks off the swing, goes back to the sideline. Boyd Meredith. Field, Casquino finds Farron for another goal, and the Dogfish within 2 with just over 2 minutes remaining. There's the pull from the Dogfish. Feely brings it in down to Fan. There's a lot of deep players here on the O-line now. Pressure from the Dogfish. Seattle really just needs to maintain possession at this point. There's some contact, no call, but clear physicality there on the mark and downfield as well. Dogfish getting aggressive with the game on the line for them. The officials setting things straight here as Fan will hang on to the disc. Coming back in, disc is back in play. Fan, Feely. Feely getting hacked, looking to the ref, letting him know. I like that. He turned to look, but then turned right back downfield. He's letting the ref know, hey, I'm getting fouled. But, you know, playing that whistle. Getting fouled again. Feely getting clobbered. Feeling it on Feely. Defense looking at the back of his shirt saying, Feely, all right. Eddie Feely, great composure there as the Rainmakers get it downfield. Sewell hacked now. The ref's letting him play. Oh. And Fan sends one into the turf. The ref's really letting them play here with just over a minute left, saying you want to play aggressive Dogfish, you'll have a chance. But if you're going to keep dropping it, that's the story of their first half, which gave the Rainmakers the huge lead of the first half. The physicality continuing on D as the Rainmakers back with the disc. A nice scooper over the top from Feely. Reed Koss puts a big one up to Gallagher. Great bid on D, the shadow block, and Gallagher can't hang on. Dogfish defender fired up, but they're going to need to work hard to come back with only 45 seconds remaining. Little excitement, though. Ranahan brings it in, but there's a call.
Timeout.
Timeout, likely a Dogfish timeout there on the goal line.
Instead of drifting into sort of a double team there.
And shutting down the cutters. Ooh. Wow, a foul on the throw. And then Kim not able to hang on, and the Rainmakers will get the disc back with 30 seconds left here. Pressure is on. Eddie Feely with the disc on the sideline. There's a double team. Finds Sewell, nice. Hanging on to it, gets fouled, throws up a blade. Oh, not caught, but I believe that one came with insurance, and it will be Matt Skip Sewell's disc at the 2-yard line. I like that throw. He knew he was getting fouled. The ref's right there, and he launches a blade up, actually to 2 open Rainmakers, just not able to hang on. A little scooper over the top to Feely. Under 10 seconds left. Back to Koss. Koss could just throw it up in the air and win this game now. He'll hang on And the Rainmakers will walk away with a win, 18-16, to a cheering hometown crowd. But a valiant effort from the Dogfish, clawing and biting their way back in to overcome a huge lead in the first half, but not overcome it in the sense of actually overcoming it, and the Rainmakers with the win.